Hey, what's up everybody, Rich Gaming Guy here. Today I am back with another order right here from Lukie Games. This particular console is a Nintendo Gamecube. So I haven't ordered a Nintendo Gamecube from anybody yet. So I am interested to see what the condition is like coming from Lukie Games. So we are going to unbox this on camera, dive into it, see how it works, make sure that it works, and also open it up a little bit and see what the condition is like inside to see whether or not it's actually refurbished. So let's dive into it. Alright, so here we are with our Lukie Games box. I've covered up with my self-promotion here, my address, but you can see right up here at the top, I'll bring it into focus, Lukie Games out of Miami Gardens, Florida. So you can see everything here is legit. And I'll spin it around so you can see it's still intact, hasn't yet been opened, anything like that. So we are going to open it up. And that was just a packing slip here. I'm going to take that out just because it's got my address right on top of it. So there we go, game only for Enter the Matrix. This is a 2-disc game though, so oh, there we go, disc 2 on the back side. Here we have a third-party controller. I knew that going in. Most of their stuff is third-party. You could tell by the fact that Nintendo's name is not on here. Action seems decent on these. Definitely feels cheaper in my hands, and it's got a much lighter weight to it. But all in all, functionality seems good. D-pad isn't great. It's responsive, but it definitely feels cheap, you know, all over. But that's, you know, typical for third-party controllers. So I'm not, you know, expecting a whole lot there. Let's continue on. So this looks like a little checklist here, signed off by whoever packed this. AF. Good to know. Both cables seem to be original, both, you know, with the Nintendo Gamecube print on there. Then this one here says Nintendo right on there. So everything seems to be good so far with these in terms of being, you know, official, not third party, which is always a good thing. Now let's take a look at the console. So I'm seeing on here right off the bat, it actually looks to be in great shape, but I'm seeing definitely, like, I'm trying to see if I can get this. I'm going to look through my monitor here and see if I can get this in the right light. There seems to be like a coating on here or like a really weird sort of finish to this actually. So I just brought my camera down a little bit here since I don't have the whole box to worry about now. But look at the way the light hits this. I'm going to adjust my lights here because it's just such a weird sort of thing. I want to get the light to hit it just right. Look at it right there. See how there's these little like lines that go across here? It almost looks like they buff this out with something like a buffer machine because there's a line across there, line across here, line across there. It looks like they use one of those like handheld buffers that you would go across this with. It really looks crazy because the finish is actually different. It's not like it's just something over the top anyways. It looks like they actually just like change the finish. You can see all of this is like a dull black, and then we have these lines across where I'm trying to see which it's supposed to actually be. I honestly don't know which, like, do we want it to be this black color or this black color up here? It's so bizarre. All of this seems like really matte. Not like that deep black. And even here, it's not like a deep black, but it's definitely blacker than all of this up here. And I know on camera here, it's harder to see, but this whole section here is like a dull, almost like a grayed out black. And then these lines across, and then a little bit over here, it seems to be the proper, not even over here, it's just like here, here, and then over here, it seems to be good. It's so weird. I don't know. I'm gonna grab a microfiber. I don't want to spend that much time on just this, but let's take a look at the front. Check that out right there. So I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's like a stain on there. And all of this is just like a really dull black. That right there is like a chip coming off. That whole corner is chipped. Black is tough. Note to self for future consoles. That's clearly chipped right there. Look at that. We're not doing good here so far. Let's take a look at the bottom. Okay. Take a look at this. This and this are the same black finish. This one's clearly not. I think that's probably like a third-party replacement, in all honesty. That definitely is just a totally different finish, but at the same time, that matches up perfectly with right here. I honestly just, it doesn't really. It's like every aspect of the surface is a different color. Like even these aren't perfectly matched up. And I hate to be nitpicky. I honestly don't care so much about that, but the fact that we're seeing so many weird discrepancies here is bizarre. These look to be actually original, but everything has got this like dull finish to it. It's like they buffed the hell out of this. Okay. All right, this side, take a look at that. It's all scuffed up here, but it doesn't look like a natural sort of like aging thing. Like obviously these consoles are old, so you know, you're not gonna have like the perfect finish across, but it looks like this was done. It's the same exact situation as right up here. It looks like it was done by a buffer. That's honestly what I think. And just a sneak peek in there. That it looks to be dust all across there. Just saying. We're going to continue on here though, and this, it just, oh man, it looks up close. I don't think I can get it. It looks like the finish is just like, I hate to say this, but it looks like somebody took a magic eraser to this. It has this dull sort of finish all over, and it looks like it's almost like they sanded the top layer of paint off. It just looks really strange. Backside, not so bad. If they wanted to resurface this, they would have a hard time getting in here. Take a look at the bottom side of that. That's all dust in there. Damn, I was hoping this wasn't going to go this way. Okay. This side actually looks pretty consistent. A little bit of that same sort of deal here. Looks like they buffed it wild and they just like took down the finish. This is all very dull, but it's at least uniform. Not like up here where it's just like all these different finishes in one. I'm going to grab a microfiber cloth though and just kind of like wipe this down a little bit and see if it comes off. Maybe that's just some crap they put like a coating on the surface. I'm not really sure. All right, so I got a microfiber here. I'm just going to just rub this across here. Nothing's on, it's totally dry. Brand new out of the pack. And I will say I'm not happy about this right here. Is clearly not, like this is a cosmetic flaw at the very, very least, but it looks a little better there. I'm going to do the whole top. I just want to see if I can get this to be like one finish, one color of black, not 3 in 1. All right, so I mean, it definitely looks better. I wouldn't say it's great. You can see right here, try to hit that spot. Yeah, that's not coming off. Definitely made it better here, but still, you can see it's like mottled in spots. It's very strange. Yeah, it's a little better. there's definitely like coating on here. It's almost like a wax, like a turtle. What's that wax we use on cars? Turtle wax. It's like they put that on here. I'm not feeling it, but we definitely saw there was a haze on there. It's better. It's not great though. You can still see different colors there. So let's open this up, see how it looks inside here. Looks pretty clean in there. We did get the glimpse on the side though, and clearly, you know, on the back side here, that's all dust and dirt in there. So I know this hasn't been refurbished without even having to open it up. Also, hard to see on camera, but there's dust on the bottom side right here. This is surface stuff, so this is just what we're seeing from the outside. And clearly, again, that piece there that's just hanging on by a thread before it completely breaks off that entire corner. I mean, you can see me plucking it like a banjo here, and I don't want to totally break it, but not good. So I'm going to actually set this up before I dive any further into this. Want to check it out and make sure that it does function correctly. If it doesn't, I mean, clearly that's going to be a major issue. Let's just peek in there. Everything seems good there. All right, so I'm going to set this up. Original cables here. Get this set up on my TV, and we will see how this actually performs. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna plug this in, and where's my controller? Here it is. Let's just power this on, and we're gonna see if we, you know, get this on screen. I hear it, I see it. All right, cool. So we don't have a game in here yet. I just want to see if it's going to power on. So I'll actually go ahead and shut this off. Let's put in Matrix. And I will say, the disc is actually in great condition. It looks brand new. Too bad it didn't come with the original case and all that stuff, but is what it is. I'm not going to say that's their fault. I could have just misread the listing. I hear it. I see it. I'm going to jump into the capture. So disc is in there. Seems to be loading up. Looks all good there. Game should be launching. Okay, no disc. Well, we clearly have a disc in there, and it looked like it was in immaculate condition. Actually, the top doesn't look all that great. Definitely good on the bottom. Seeing a hair in there. Okay. Definitely was a hair wrapped around all of that. Pretty long. I don't know that I got it all out. Looks like I actually ripped it. Let's give this a go. Definitely looks great on the bottom of the disc. All right, awesome. I have, luckily, some other GameCube games here. Maybe it's just that. I think I need disc... I guess I could load disc 2. It's been a while since I played this game. It was one of my favorite games. Let me try disc 2 here, since all of this so far is Lukie Games order. Disc 2 looks, again, immaculate. The top, though... I don't know what it is with them and haze. There's like a haze on here. Very hard to see. You can see a little bit of it there. Let's see if this one loads up. This one, though, hard to see, but there's like a haze up here. Right up here. Again, I hate to say this. It looks like they buffed it with something. So no disc yet again. These are 2 discs now that look to be in good shape, at least on the bottom side. We're not doing well here at all for Lukie Games. All right, so 2 discs down. Now I'm going to dive into my collection here. I've got Super Mario Sunshine, as well as, oh, what the hell is this? Naruto 2. I'm going to get blasted for not saying that right. That one, I mean, look at this. This one looks like a mess. I have used this just to test GameCubes that I've gotten over the years. It's a mess, but it actually has worked on all my GameCubes. Let me see how Mario Sunshine looks, though. Not great. Definitely not as good. Look at that. So, I mean, if those mint condition ones, the Matrix ones that Lukie sent, worked, didn't work, rather. I can't imagine that this one's going to. Let's give it a go, though. And just to be clear, this button is the reset button. Okay, so I'm getting nothing here in terms of discs being read. I mean, this console does not work if we can't read discs. I'm like actually at a loss right here. I feel like I just opened up the N64 with DKOLDIES. Yeah, like it doesn't work. It's not reading any discs whatsoever here. I'm going to restart this now and see if I can just get this to, I don't know, maybe the reset isn't resetting enough. So we're going to jump over to the capture again. My capture is a couple seconds delayed. Same deal. Does not read any discs. And, I mean, it wouldn't read these. These are in really good shape on the bottom, at least. I don't know. What we'll do is we'll open this sucker up. I mean, it doesn't work, so nothing beyond that matters anymore. It doesn't matter if there's dust inside or not. The console does not function correctly. So, yeah, I'm at a loss here. All right, so I just flipped this over. We are going to open this up. We've got, should be 4 screws here. It's been a long time since I opened up a GameCube, so bear with me. I'm a little bit rusty. I'm not going super deep into this, though. There's, again, absolutely no point. This does not read discs. And I will say, before I flip this over, I did troubleshoot this a little bit to see if I could get this to read discs. I tried to clean the inside out a little bit. It doesn't seem dirty there, but clearly this sucker does not work at all. And with a refurbished console, I shouldn't have to troubleshoot this at all. Just gonna say that, but I am happy to, you know, do what I can to at least get this, you know, somewhat. I should have taken that out first, but I guess it doesn't matter, right? So yeah, let's take a look at this sucker, because I know you guys can't see what I see on the sides here, but you can see a little bit right there. Let's zoom in. This is as far as we need to go, guys. This is super disappointing. So, just looking at it from the top, it doesn't look too bad. Now let's zoom in. Dust in there. Look at that. That's what we saw from the inside. Pardon me, from the outside. We saw this layer of dust down here. The top, I mean, the whole thing is dust. It's absolutely filthy. Down here we can see dirt, grime. It's just an absolute mess. You saw how easy this was for me to open it up this far. Literally, these 4 screws, you just drop this sucker in here. This is the special Nintendo tool to get into a Nintendo console. You could use this for N64, GameCube. Super easy. I don't even have to look down into the hole. Just put it in there and turn. That simple. Takes all of 5 seconds. Little dead bug right there, just for fun, little flavor. Absolutely terrible. I really didn't want to have to say all this. What they did on the GameCube, this is the GameCube. What they did on the Xbox that I got, where they actually did replace some of the caps on it, was great. This is just absolutely atrocious. The fan is cleaned out, but not all around the fan, just the fan itself. So they probably like sprayed some solution and just blew out the fan. Just by spinning it, it would move the solution around, because the fan itself actually looks well cleaned. Not so much here. Ooh, and it's got that coating on it. Wow, okay. It's not that clean, but it does have that shiny sort of like tacky, it's like a shiny tacky sort of feel to it. It's a solution that they put on the outside, but that's exactly what they did. They sprayed the fan and they probably just blew it around so it cleaned the surface. That's why this is like super tacky and just a weird waxy sort of feeling. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's just an absolute fucking mess. All right, guys, I gotta say, this review unboxing video is the most disappointing one that I've done so far here on the channel. I've been neutral on Lukie Games in the past. I got an original Xbox console. I found that they did do a nice job refurbishing it. Did go back into it later on, a couple weeks after I originally opened it up on camera. Saw that they had not replaced the thermal paste on there, which isn't necessarily a huge deal unless you find that it's not doing what it should be doing, and that was the case in that situation. But I didn't hold it against them too much, so that's why I actually placed this additional order with them and got a GameCube console. I wanted to see what that was like to kind of weigh in again as to whether I was going to recommend Lukie Games and be a fan of theirs or not. Turns out not is the way to go here. This console was an absolute disaster from start to finish, and it didn't function. That is the biggest issue here. In fact, I'd go as far as saying this console's condition is worse than the N64 that I got from DKOLDIES. That's right, I said worse than DKOLDIES, which is absolutely horrendous as it is. So, opened up this GameCube, took a look at it, looked very strange right off the bat. You could see these little lines across the surface. Looked like they were using a buffing pad to go back and forth with some wax. Looks like they just did that and didn't wipe away any excess after, just let it dry, because it had this weird consistency across it, weird texture to it, weird look to it, and in fact actually changed the colors of different sides of the console. Also looks like they're also using a magic eraser to wipe down the surface of the console, because even in spots where I used the microfiber cloth that I have to get away that excess, we'll call it wax. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's some sort of chemical or substance that they're using on their consoles to clean them or to make them shiny. I really don't know what they use. I'd love to know because it's interesting. I've seen it on other people's videos. Didn't experience that firsthand with the Xbox that I got from them in the past though, so it's new to me. But it looks like they're using, I want to say, a magic eraser, because it looks like the color is just wearing down in certain spots. Like maybe they scrubbed too hard to get rid of a certain blemish, something like that. Definitely looked like it was taking down the surface color considerably. So went in and looked at all sides. Some sides were better than others, but consistently that issue was there, you know, on all sides of the console. Also found a chip in the front, very visible right in the bottom right corner of the front of the console, still intact, but you could see me flicking it throughout the video, and it's just hanging by a thread. It's ready to just break off completely. But all that aside, plugged it in, powered on, saw a picture on screen, never read a disc. And what is so frustrating with this order from Lukie Games is that I didn't just buy a console, I added a game onto it. And not just a regular game, a 2-disc game. So there's 2 discs in this box. They didn't think to not just power test the console, but test the games that are included. You kill 3 birds with 1 stone in this case by taking the 2 discs and putting them in the console and seeing if the game boots up. You test the games, two disc games, or a 2-disc game, as well as the console, all in one shot if you're doing your job correctly. And you would have found that the console does not function properly, and you would have gotten me a new console and avoided this entire video right here. Didn't happen, doesn't function correctly. I have other games from my personal collection, tried those. No way, shape, or form does this read discs. Just doesn't do it. I troubleshooted it a little bit off camera, no luck. Shouldn't have to do that, but I did. No luck whatsoever. Could have ended the video there, just said it's all done, this doesn't work, video over. I opened it up. 4 screws at the bottom, really easy, took all of about a minute to open this up. Disaster inside, dust, buildup, dead bugs inside this console. Just an absolute disgusting mess. never, I can't say they never opened it. Maybe they opened it. If they opened it, they closed it up really soon after because this just caked with dust. It looks like dust and dirt from decades of just sitting. Just an absolute mess. Clearly not refurbished, not cleaned. Just a absolute embarrassment to Lukie Games to send something like this out. And I'm not super picky. You've seen me in videos talk about a little bit of dust being in a retro console. We have to expect that. These consoles are 20 plus years old. What we saw was excessive, to say the least. Dead bugs is excessive. I don't even know what to say beyond that. I mean, luckily they weren't dead roaches. There's still bugs, though, in there. Just like fossilized because they've been there so long. So this is a horrendous, example for Lukie Games to set with sending something like this out. But I'm going to go through the return process now, and we'll get to see what the return process is like here because of all the issues outlined here. It doesn't function. It's disgusting. It's got a huge nick in the front, so it's cosmetically flawed at the very least. There's so many reasons we can return this, and I'm going to. I didn't pay $150 plus for something that doesn't work right and doesn't even look good at that. So that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to give me a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed this content and found it helpful. And of course, hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop for all future videos here on the Retro Gaming Guy YouTube channel. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.